Hi everyone, and welcome to Gold Strike Springs and Canyon. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of something different. As you can see, the name of the channel has changed. No longer Hiker Guy, this is now the Man of Land channel. And what we're going to be doing from here on out, as I travel around, check out some new places in the new area that I'm in for a few months, I'm going to be going ahead. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of the places that we're in, along with showing you just how beautiful it is out here. I know some people, they go out to the desert, they're like, it's all just shrubs and rocks. Sure, you got some rattlesnakes and some scorpions, but people tend to think that it's less beautiful than the landscapes that you have where there's more trees and more diversity, but that's not necessarily true because the history out here is so much more diverse. The struggle that people went through to actually survive in these areas back in the day before we had modern technology was a lot more intense than what you had to go through in a land where you have the diversity and you have all these wild mushrooms and medicinals, whereas out here you're in a very barren landscape. You have to survive a little more off of the bare minimum. You're traveling for miles just to get water. You're eating things like snakes and armadillos and things that could possibly carry disease, like armadillos tend to carry leprosy. So I'm really excited to start this new section of the channel. So we're going to go ahead, get you out here, kind of check out some of the, sites, and then I'll, stop after a little while and tell you a little bit about the history. So, starting off with the history a little bit here, this big old bridge that you're looking at right now, this is actually the original bridge that was built during the construction of the Hoover Dam. So this is the bridge that they would cross every day in order to continue going out to work, in order to build the Hoover Dam. So I finally just came across my first sign of wildlife out here. Right there he goes. They're so fast. Got a little lizard. Let's see if we can find him again and try to get a better look. Trying to be careful walking through this area as there are rattlesnakes in this canyon. There he is. Let's see if we can get a close-up without him running away. So as I was saying before, these canyons just have such rich history between the mining, as you can tell by the name. This is obviously a historical mining site. On top of that, as I had mentioned, as when you saw the bridge earlier, some of the workers that were working on the Hoover Dam back in the day were walking through these very same trails. There are also historic hot springs further down along the way. I don't think we're going to make it to those today, but we might. And yeah, it's beautiful out here. Also, there's a lot of indigenous tribes dating all the way back to the Paleozoic period, like some of your original, almost, I don't want to say Neanderthal, but, your first humans walked these grounds and used the hot springs as their bathing areas and use them for their minerals. And, it's just amazing to be out here and experience it. And I'm glad I can share it with everybody, and I hope you enjoy the video. So here I am, I'm out here, I found a nice shady spot out in the canyon, and I'm just taking a little break. On top of that, as we're going along, we're going to be traveling on to some hot springs along the way, and once we get there, if I get there, I don't know if I actually packed enough water today or not. I only plan to come out and just kind of check things out today. This is my first time out here. I'll probably come out and do another video at some point, maybe pick up some trash. I did notice there's quite a bit along the way, so that could be a plan for the future. Spring water on top of being in the canyon while you're out in the desert, that's pretty much, you're living in an oasis out here. You've got all kinds of wildlife and shrubbery and, just places that you can, duck away and get away from the sun for a while. So, just throwing that out there. If you're ever out in the desert and you're just getting too hot, make sure that you find a nice cool spot. Canyons are the best if you ask me. They just create the perfect shaded areas for elongated periods of time. And make sure that you bring enough water. If you plan on doing a short hike like I am, I brought a couple of bottles, plus I also brought a backup stash of water just in case the second bottle isn't enough to get me back. Once I run out of the first bottle, I'm on my way back irregardless. If I run out of water on the way back, drinking that second bottle a little more vigorously or something like that, I still have a few backup pouches that I have from an emergency stash that I always keep with me. So, when you're out in the desert, just make sure that you are being safe and keeping hydrated. There are actually signs when you get here. This park is actually now closed off during the summer season due to the fact that so many people come out here and overestimate their ability to hike these trails during the summer season. It's just wicked hot. So that's why I'm out here just kind of doing a short hike right now and testing my ability personally. So I can't promise we'll make it to the hot springs today, but if we don't, that's just another video that you're going to get to see in the future. Well, alright folks, I ran out of water. Well, not ran out, but I only got enough to get back now. Didn't quite make it there. A few folks stopped, told me it was about a couple more miles. I figured I didn't have enough to make it a couple more miles, so we're not going to get to the hot springs today. But now that I know, we'll be back out. So guys, as we're on our final leg, I just want to talk to you a little bit about like acclimation. So when you go from a really low elevation to a higher elevation, you always got to take it easy for a little while, which is why today I wasn't pushing myself, because it's a lot thinner in the air. Your blood circulates differently. It can be much harder to breathe, and it can be pretty strenuous on your body. So if you're going from like New York to Nevada, like I did, just remember, don't push yourself. And as I was saying earlier, when it comes to water, don't overestimate what you can do in this environment. So it might not seem like it's that bad at first, but it's just a whole different landscape. And as you get going, your blood really gets pumping. You really start to notice the difference in the way your blood's circulating. So just be safe, and don't try to push yourself too much. Take breaks, find those nice shady spots, and don't overdo it. That's how places like this get close up during the summer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell for more videos just like this one, if not cooler. I'm gonna be working to really strive to improve each video, so if you guys could drop a comment, that would also be really highly appreciated. You know, all criticism is good criticism, unless it's, you know, I guess that's not true, but most criticism is pretty good criticism, so long as you're not just being a complete asshat. Anyway, I'll see you next time.